Human blunders refer to significant mistakes, errors, or misjudgments made by individuals, organizations, or societies that result in substantial financial costs or other significant consequences. Let us see a few of the most expensive human blunders. Chernobyl Disaster. The Chernobyl disaster occurred on April 26, 1986, at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine. It was caused by a flawed reactor design and operator errors during a safety test, resulting in a catastrophic explosion and the release of radioactive material into the atmosphere. The disaster led to widespread environmental contamination, long-term health effects for affected populations, and the evacuation of thousands of people from the surrounding area. It is considered one of the worst nuclear accidents in history, with significant economic, environmental, and human costs. The 2008 financial crisis. The 2008 financial crisis was a global economic downturn triggered by the collapse of the subprime mortgage market in the United States. It led to widespread bank failures, stock market crashes, and a severe credit crunch. The crisis resulted in massive losses for financial institutions, investors, and economies worldwide. Governments intervened with trillions of dollars in bailouts and stimulus packages to stabilize financial markets and prevent a complete collapse of the global economy. The crisis caused widespread unemployment, foreclosures, and economic hardship, with long-lasting effects on individuals, businesses, and governments around the world. The Deepwater Horizon Oil Spill. The Deepwater Horizon Oil Spill occurred on April 20, 2010, when the offshore drilling rig Deepwater Horizon, operated by BP in the Gulf of Mexico, suffered a catastrophic blowout. This led to the release of millions of barrels of crude oil into the ocean, making it the largest marine oil spill in history. The spill caused extensive environmental damage to marine ecosystems, coastal habitats, and fishing industries. Cleanup efforts, legal settlements, and economic losses to affected communities amounted to tens of billions of dollars. The spill had long-term ecological consequences, including damage to marine life and habitats. The 2011 Fukushima Nuclear Disaster. The 2011 Fukushima nuclear disaster occurred on March 11, 2011, when a massive earthquake and tsunami struck Japan, causing multiple meltdowns and releases of radioactive material at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. The disaster led to widespread evacuations, environmental contamination, and long-term health concerns for affected populations. Cleanup efforts, compensation for evacuees, and decommissioning of the damaged reactors amounted to hundreds of billions of dollars. While the earthquake and tsunami were beyond human control, the design and location of the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant were criticized for being insufficiently prepared to withstand such events. There were also concerns raised about the response of the plant's operators, Tokyo Electric Power Company, TEPCO, and the Japanese government in the aftermath of the disaster, including issues with communication, evacuation procedures, and transparency. Therefore, while the Fukushima nuclear disaster was primarily triggered by natural forces, there were human elements involved in the lead-up to the event and the response afterward, which have been subject to scrutiny and criticism. The 2003 Space Shuttle Columbia Disaster. The Space Shuttle Columbia disaster occurred on February 1, 2003, when the spacecraft disintegrated during re-entry into Earth's atmosphere. The disaster resulted from damage to the shuttle's thermal protection system, caused by foam insulation breaking off from the external fuel tank during launch and striking the shuttle's wing. All 7 crew members on board were killed. The loss of the Columbia spacecraft, along with the investigation, recovery efforts, and subsequent hiatus of the Space Shuttle program, resulted in costs totaling billions of dollars. The disaster had profound implications for NASA's space exploration efforts, leading to increased emphasis on safety measures. The AOL-Time Warner Merger. The AOL-Time Warner Merger in 2000 was heralded as a landmark deal intended to create a media and technology powerhouse. However, the merger failed to deliver the promised synergies. Internal conflicts, cultural clashes, and declining revenues plagued the combined company. The merger eventually unraveled, resulting in massive write-downs and losses for shareholders. The failed merger highlighted the challenges of integrating disparate corporate cultures and business models. It also served as a cautionary tale about the pitfalls of overvaluing synergies and underestimating the complexities of large-scale corporate mergers and acquisitions. The Ford Pinto safety debacle. The Ford Pinto safety debacle refers to the controversy surrounding the subcompact car produced by Ford Motor Company in the 1970s. The Pinto's design flaw, a defective fuel tank susceptible to rupturing during rear-end collisions, led to numerous deaths, injuries, and costly legal settlements. Ford's decision to forego implementing safety improvements in favor of cost-cutting measures became a focal point of public outrage and legal scrutiny. The scandal tarnished Ford's reputation and highlighted ethical considerations in automotive design and corporate decision-making. The total cost of the Pinto safety debacle, including legal settlements and lost sales, amounted to billions of dollars. The Exxon Valdez Oil Spill. The Exxon Valdez Oil Spill occurred on March 24, 1989, when the oil tanker Exxon Valdez ran aground in Prince William Sound, Alaska, releasing millions of gallons of crude oil into the ocean. The spill caused extensive environmental damage, devastating marine life, coastal habitats, and fishing industries. Cleanup efforts were prolonged and costly, with legal settlements totaling billions of dollars. The incident prompted widespread outrage and led to increased scrutiny of oil tanker safety regulations and environmental protection measures. The Exxon Valdez oil spill remains one of the most notorious environmental disasters in history, with lasting ecological impacts. The 2003 invasion of Iraq. The 2003 invasion of Iraq was a military intervention led by the United States, alongside coalition forces, with the goal of ousting Iraqi President Saddam Hussein and eliminating weapons of mass destruction, WMDs. The invasion was launched based on intelligence indicating Iraq possessed WMDs, which were never found. The conflict resulted in a prolonged insurgency, sectarian violence, and instability in Iraq. The financial cost of the war, including military expenditures, reconstruction efforts, and healthcare for veterans, amounted to trillions of dollars. The invasion remains a highly controversial and divisive event, with significant geopolitical ramifications in the Middle East. The Enron Scandal. The Enron Scandal of 2001 involved widespread accounting fraud and corporate misconduct at the energy company Enron. Executives engaged in deceptive accounting practices to inflate profits and conceal mounting debt, leading to Enron's bankruptcy and the dissolution of the accounting firm Arthur Andersen. Investors, pensioners, and employees suffered massive losses, with total costs estimated in the tens of billions of dollars. The scandal revealed flaws in corporate governance, auditing practices, and regulatory oversight. It sparked increased scrutiny of financial reporting and accountability measures, leading to reforms aimed at preventing similar corporate scandals in the future. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks and bye-bye.